Good morning and welcome. I'm Kristen, and today I'm getting ready to go backpacking, and I have all of my gear spread out. I'm going to walk you through all of my basics as well as my splurges, and then I'm going to pick up my cousin and we're going to head out for a good trip this weekend. Okay, I have the majority of my gear spread out that I'm going to be taking this weekend, as well as a few splurges, and there's a few things missing like my snacks and a couple other items I've been thinking about. But let me walk you through all the basics. Additionally, the cat will not be coming with. That's River. Additionally, I'll provide a spreadsheet that has my full list of gear, including optional items, such as a cat. Buddy, don't need your help right now. All right, so I have a 2-person tent that I actually just got off of Amazon. I'll show that to you later when I'm setting it up. It's 4 pounds, so it's heavier than some of the lightweight items, but you know, it's held up for me and I really like it. So I'll show you that later. I have an Enlighten quilt. I customized mine down to 0 degrees because I run cold, and I'll show you that up at camp. I have a Thermarest Neo Air with a high R rating because I run cold, and I have a sleep sack that helps keep my sleeping bag cold as well. I'm going to splurge on bringing the camp chair. This is the newer version from REI that's only 1 pound, so that shaved off 0.8 of a pound for my pack weight that I just recently got, so I'm excited to try that. Okay, speaking of being cold, it's gonna be in the 40s overnight, so a little bit chilly, so I am gonna bring a nice puffy jacket. I'll also usually take my sleeping bag and curl up with that on the camp chair as I'm just lounging. We can't have campfires this time of year out in Washington State, and not allowed in the Alpine Lake Wilderness unless they've got an actual built-in metal ring, and at this point of the summer it's just all not even allowed. Camp shoes. This is very optional as well. These are super lightweight water shoes, so if I want to go into the lake I can protect my feet, and they don't weigh that much to carry in. And I have a buff. I use this for not just for being cold, but also as my sleep mask, so I can sleep in a little bit later from the light. I'm splurging on 2 changes of clothes. I run really sweaty as well, maybe because I run cold. So I'm gonna bring 2 pairs of change of clothes. That does add a lot of extra weight. If you don't mind being a little bit dirty or making sure your clothes dry, you'll be all right. This very lightweight underwear and bra also will serve as my swimsuit option if I do get in the lake, because it does dry very quickly. I'm gonna pack that all into a packing cube. I really like doing this as an option to then become my pillow. And I've got my hat that I'll be wearing in, and a sun shirt as well. Toiletry items. I like to bring in these wipes. Make sure that you pack them out. I get them from REI, but it's just a great way to clean up all the dirt off of your legs, and also, you know, stinky armpits. Bug spray is super important out in the wilderness up here with the lake, so I carry picaridin. I have my main headlamp. I have my extra battery pack to charge my phone and or Garmin if needed. I have a knife, both for protection and if needed for opening packaging or whatnot. Chapstick, super important for me. Medications. This is my backup lighter, and then I've got a watch to track my progress, as well as I can download the maps onto this, so I have this as a backup for emergency if I'm in a situation where I'm not sure where I'm at. And a deck of playing cards because I'm going with my cousin and we need a little bit of entertainment. Then I have my emergency kit. Because I'm going with my cousin, I'm bringing a couple extra items, but I always bring a pair of gloves no matter how hot it is. You just don't know the situation up in the mountains. I have some anti-chafe cream. I'm bringing both a bivy sack, emergency bivy sack, and an emergency blanket. These also can, especially the blanket, could also be good if it's raining. Also, if it's raining, the ground tarp in my tent, I can put that over my jacket, over myself. I can create a tent just a cover out of that for the rain. So I have all sorts of rain options if the weather were to turn. I have a small emergency kit, Band-Aids, antiseptic ointment, some scissors, tweezers, little basics like that are in this little case. I have my backup headlamp and batteries. I have some extra warming options for, again, cold weather. This is a mosquito head net. I've had some really bad times at the lake where you don't even want to open your mouth because of the number of mosquitoes that are flying around. And then I have a Garmin InReach Messenger, and then just some extra medical tape. This is a splurge. This is a Thermacell. It's going to be my first time trying it out there. If there are mosquitoes, you actually attach that to your fuel, and that allows well, it should hopefully keep the mosquitoes at bay, at least in a small area near yourself. All right, and then the fun part is all the food and eating. So I have these items as splurges because I'm going with my cousin. This is an extra pot in case he wants to do ramen, so that we still have my main pot for boiling water, but then we can have another pot that we can make messy. This is brand new. I haven't tried it yet, but I was inspired by a friend who brought tortillas and made a bunch of like tacos and roll-ups. So I'm going to heat up some tortillas and have a little splurge. Plus it also is a nice little plate. So I'm bringing 2 camp fuels, again, not required, especially if you're going with someone else, you can have someone else bring in a backup option. But because I'm bringing the Thermacell for mosquitoes, I do need 2. But I have the smaller one with my MSR pocket rocket inside of my camp stove, and then I just have a bigger fuel that I'll actually attach the MSR rocket to. I'm bringing 2 spoons, both nice long handles for getting into these bags. One for me, one for my cousin. This is going to be my main water bottle. I also use it for measuring for what to put into the dehydrated meals. And then I just keep filling this up with the water that I put into my Life Straw and filter that. And then I also fill up this platypus, and then that water then goes through the Life Straw and filter. And I have a nice, super lightweight system to keep myself hydrated and rotating. The hike we're doing today has a lot of water options. There's a lake about a mile or so in, and then the main lake that we're going to try to camp at is 3.5 miles in. So I'll have plenty of options to get additional water when I go through this. If I did not have as many water sources, I would have these already pre-filled and carried that weight. But because I won't pre-carry this weight, that allows me to have a few other splurges. I'm bringing electrolytes and coffee. This is my main lighter. When that one gets used up, I'll switch to my backup and then refill that one. Oatmeal for breakfast, eggs for breakfast, 2 dinners, and I'm gonna make some sandwiches and pack some snacks as well. I have an Ursa sack under here that I'm gonna pack this all into, and then I have rope to do a bear hang. So this location does not require a bear canister, so I'm gonna go with this lighter weight option, then I can just hang it up. And down here, I have my backpack that I'll be packing this all up in. So I know this can look like a lot of gear and be very overwhelming, but a lot of these items will already be pre-packed in the little bags that I have for them. So they're easy to just grab and go and just make sure everything's in there. And the more that you get out and backpack, the more that you get more efficient and dial down your gear and your packing process. So it really doesn't take that long to throw everything in. I like to put my sleeping bag at the bottom, super lightweight and cushy, and then I stack everything else vertically. So we'll do the tent vertical, chair vertical, air mattress vertical, then that allows me to stuff other things around that. I totally forgot my poop kit. This is super important. It was still in my bag. I've got a trowel, I have toilet paper, I have wet wipes, I have a blue bag, a white bag. That's like if you need to carry out your number two, you poop in the bag and you put it back in here and take it with you. And then an extra Ziploc bag for my toilet paper so I can also pack that out. Okay, and then things that I put for easy access, medication in case I just need a Tylenol on the trail. Chapstick, super important. I like to have my knife accessible. So I've got a nice little pocket here in the front that it stays in. I'll be filling up my water bottle with electrolytes. This goes on a side pocket, so that's easily accessible. I'll be wearing these other items or stuffing them in here as well. So packed, that didn't take too long once I have everything all laid out. I still need to add snacks, sandwiches, and I'm gonna decide if I'm gonna take my fishing gear. All right, we're about ready to go.
I'm doing the final prep before I can hit the road, which includes adding electrolytes to my water, making one of my go-to snacks, which is a hot dog roll-up. It's very simple, using a tortilla, a slice of cheese, and a hot dog that I microwave. And I just try to eat that in the first 24 hours of my trip. I'm also making a classic peanut butter and jelly sandwich, packing some adult beverages, and my favorite salty snack, white cheddar crunchy Cheetos. The Hyperlight Mountain Gear Echo 2 is a tent that I have on loan from a friend, and I love that it's only 2 pounds plus 2 hiking poles. From what I searched online, I believe this tent retailed around $695, so it is definitely on the higher end. I preset this up at home before my first time using it, and I've pre-attached the tent to the Rainfly. It still took me over 45 minutes the first time I was camping and used it to get it set up by myself though, and it was really hard to get everything aligned correctly. Setting it up here with my cousin went so much easier, especially without having to add the door fly since we had really good weather. You put a hiking pole on each end, stake the guy lines down, and then go around and stake the rest of the guy lines to bring that tension. That gives the tent its shape. So the tent does not have a ground mat with it, and that helps save on weight, but you do risk some wear and tear on the tent, so that would be optional to add in that additional weight to protect the bottom of your tent. Besides how long it took me to set up this tent on my own, I personally am not a fan of the height of this tent, and it does say it's 41 inches, but I felt really cramped when I use it. Plus, with that hiking pole right in front of the door, I feel like I was always doing some kind of matrix move to get in and out of the tent. But I'm really glad that I have it as an additional option to bring for friends and family to get them out on the trail as well. My personal tent is a Nature Hike Cloud Up 2-person lightweight backpacking tent with footprint. I bought it off of Amazon in 2020, and while it looks to be around $150 now, I probably got it closer to 100 back then, so it was a really good bargain. It weighs 4 pounds, so it is on the heavier side now, but that also includes the poles and footprint. And if I go to a Tyvek footprint, I can reduce that by about half a pound. I also really like the space in this one. I can fit myself, backpack, and there's plenty of headroom. It's also pretty easy to set up. You just slip the poles into the tent and footprint grommets and hook the tent onto the poles, clip the rainfly into the buckles, and stake it all down. It definitely needs extra guy lines though if you are in windy conditions, as I've had my feet knocked on all night long by that single pull at the end. Now that the tent is set up, it's time to move in. I'm using a Thermarest Neo Air X-Therm sleeping pad that has a 6.9 R rating and weighs 1 pound 6 ounces. I invested in the higher R rating because I run cold, and I was using this for snow camping in the past as well. I use an Enlightened Equipment Revelation custom quilt that is rated for 10 degrees Fahrenheit with 950 downfill. And I ordered the short but wide option, as I'm only 5'5", but I'm a stomach sleeper and I like to kick my feet out, so I need that extra wide coverage. And it weighs around 1.6 pounds, including the stuff sack I use. Additionally, I pair it with a sleeping bag liner I got off of Amazon that helps keep the sleeping bag cleaner, and this one unzips at the end so I can kick my feet fully out to breathe. After a few more chores, it's time to relax and enjoy the great outdoors.